Welcome back. It's week 6 of Blue Water Masters. Today, I will be your play-by-play, and I have Gofarino with me on color. Unfortunately, the normal play-by-play couldn't make it today, but I will have to fill in, and we have a good one today. We have Lane Zero Maelstrom versus Death Cards. Gofarino, how you doing?
All right. I guess the big talk of the town was the eclipse today. I didn't get the full thing at my place, so it's just kind of like a little darker out.
I
Kind of
got
fun, I guess.
like 95. It's just like a slight sliver of the sun that you could see, and I made sure to straight up look at that with my eyes. No glasses needed
Yes,
because I was
sir.
going to go blind. But yeah, it was neat. It actually didn't get as dark as I thought it was gonna get, but
Yeah.
it's kind of wild how just a little bit of light from the sun can still create a ton of light.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know that too well in the morning because that thing always shines in my eye. Even though I have my room pretty well blocked off when it comes to the windows at night, there's still a little bit of sunlight that gets there and wakes my ass up. But yeah, hopping into champion select here. Both these
Yeah,
teams guaranteed playoffs here, so this is kind of just for seeding at this point. Second to
yeah.
last week of the regular season. So we'll see how they want
Yeah.
to set themselves up.
First band, Poppy coming out. Poppy is just an overall very solid champion. Has a ton of CC, a lot of damage, and can set up team fights pretty easily and make sure you kind of scatter everyone around. Rek'Sai banned from death cards. Rek'Sai, an abusive top laner, basically to the point where you just can't kill him because he gets super tanky.
Yeah. Well, her technically Rek'Sai is a female.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
always
It's kind of hard to
forget.
remember
Yeah,
because
it's
everyone's
like a
like, "Oh,
pug.
scary monster." Yeah, probably a dude. But yeah, so far right now, just mostly meta bans being taken off the board. Nothing too surprising. No specific target bans coming through. Probably will see some the later the series goes on. But yeah, the Vi just rounding out. Mostly, we see the Vi right now as just a great tool for locking down mobile carries, and Zeri happens to be very meta right now. We'll see since
Mhm.
the Vi is taken off the board if that Zeri is B1 tier, since that champion very powerful right now on this patch. And
Yeah,
it would kind of force the death cards into locking something like the Nautilus with that point and click CC.
yeah. Just to note, Skarner is banned for this
Yeah.
week and next week actually. Um, but not really a good jungler right now. It's gonna get man. It's funny. We know what the picks are. Like,
Yeah.
Fatty wants to troll us, but yeah, Skarner, not really a good jungler at the moment. Very good top laner because a lot of wave
Mhm.
clear. It's very it just does so much in lane, but they will be nerfing Skarner top, but giving him buffs. Gragas, the first pick coming out from lane zero.
Yep. Nothing too surprising, even after the nerfs, we're still seeing the Gragas come through quite a bit. Very potent flex pick, very safe in the top lane, even if you know it's coming, because you just can get out of so many situations with body slam plus phase rush. Death cards, though, gonna be responding here with two champions that do spike pretty early in the Lee Sin and Varus. Gonna give you a lot of pick potential between the Lee Sin combo and the Chains of Corruption. Definitely a little interesting. I thought they might go for the Zeri here since that was open, but going for the Varus instead, who is also high prio.
Yeah, I like the Varus pick. I think it's just super super good, especially if you end up having kind of like a higher econ type of comp. You can always default to a poke style Varus. I don't think we'll see that here, especially with the Lee Sin. But let's say if we had like another marksman in the jungle, you could easily put the Varus on poke, giving more resources to your marksman jungle, and then having enough damage still and the items that come way a lot quicker since they're cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, coming through. That is going to show a bit of the hand here of where the Gragas is going. Technically, if you really want to stretch it mid lane and support Gragas, technically still viable here. The Ashe probably going to support here, but can of course be going to ADC. Haven't really been seeing too much AD carry Ashe in the pro meta so far this year. It's been more so that support Ashe because you have decent utility and also long range, so decent poke, and it can help you just in these hard poke lanes. But
Yeah.
against the Thresh Varus, the poke might not be doing too much.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. Especially the big thing about Ash is if you get jumped on, if you start getting behind on this pick, then you're just an easy 300 gold and eventually less because you're just gonna get murdered. Um, but it all comes down to the early game of how well can this Ashe poke. We assume it's a Ashe support. It does give you a very strong level one, where you can easily get the lane priority, and if you really wanted to, you could look for some early invade in the jungle with your Viego.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll have to see. That hawkshot really great at just setting up those early invades or just tracking in general. That's why you see Ashes, even in the ADK role, take that ability level 2, just so you can find out where the enemy jungler is on their first clear, just how they're doing, how fast they're going through. Did they start on a different side of the map? Yada, yada, yada. Very handy information here. We'll have to see if that is indeed the ADC or support Ashe here. We'll definitely find out here unless we see some weird flex pick in the B4, B5 slot.
Yeah,
And yeah,
we do see like the meta mids. Talia already gone, Oriana also gone, and then Aatrox. So R4 Death Cards decided to take Cassante. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Renekton
yeah.
going out.
Well,
Oh wait,
I
the
think
Gragas is already there. I mean, technically,
and
they could
tactically, it
they
would
could.
be funny. I mean, you can go Gragas support,
Oh,
but
Blitzcrank was picked
Blitzcrank, okay.
B4, so that is
Blitzcrank,
going to be an
interesting.
RADC in the Hwei getting
No
picked up as an
way.
artillery mage in the mid lane.
Yep, the Blitzcrank interesting here. I know the Blitzcrank is kind of considered a counter to Thresh because your hook has longer range and comes out faster than the Death Sentence. The thing is, it's kind of paired with Ashe in the bot lane. Ashe doesn't really have the burst to follow up on your hooks, especially early on. You can auto W auto and then hope you can stack up the Ranger's focus fast enough, but usually it's not going to be schmelting through people. Like safe as like Blitzcrank, Draven, Blitzcrank, and Muff, champions that have a little bit more wallop in the first few seconds of the trade. However, still going to be scary here, and you do have 2 prime targets in that Varus and Vex.
Yeah, especially with the R5 Vex pick, they're definitely looking to all in. When you're playing against a Hwei and Ashe, your best bet is to try to get an ultimate on the Vex, just nuking the Hwei down. But if that doesn't happen, you're just gonna get poked down constantly by this comp.
Yeah, does sound like we might be in game though. Waiting on word from our producer. One of the intricacies of casting from replay files is there is no spectator delay.
That is
Would
true.
you look at that? There's no spectator delay. So we're on to the Rift.
Hey, good thing is if there's no pauses either. So there is some bright sides of casting off free play, but so far not anything crazy different. Obviously that's gonna be on hit Varus and tank Gragas top lane. I'm gonna be curious to see what they decide to do in this lane. That's Gragas, where you can Emax or you could do a W max as well. Typically it's more Emax, but in situations against a Cassante, there's still a lot of value of
30
doing the W
seconds
max
until
as well.
minions spawn.
Yeah, and the grasp is interesting here. Phase rush much more common. Grasp, like you said, kind of means you're going tank here. I mean, tank
Yeah.
rockets not unheard of. Granted, nowadays it's kind of more so like a bit of an AP hybrid. You might see like the tier of the goddess and then into tank.
So like just straight tank Gragas actually being played quite a bit, just going for Sunfire first item. Um,
Yo,
so we do see that.
Minions have
Uh,
spawned.
I wouldn't say it's very rare. I say it's occasionally happens when your team
yeah.
does need a big front line. And with the Hwei and Ashe, you definitely need that front line. You need that beefiness and not just like get murdered, and then your back line is just vulnerable to everybody else on the team.
Yeah, especially since you have Blitzcrank in the support role, who, I mean, Blitzcrank engages, but the Blitzcrank doesn't go in for the engage. You land the
Yeah.
hook. It's not like other tank supports like the Thresh who can at least follow up on that Death Sentence, fly in, has the aftershock, you proc that. You at least have another dive buddy. The Blitzcrank, not really known for being able to dive. At least not without Snowball and Howling Abyss. Or if you build Proto Belt, I guess, but
Yeah, and then Stallion actually decides to go Raptors into Krugstar. Still has that red buff available, while Starry actually went for the red Krug start as well. So both these junglers are going to be on the opposite sides of the map. We have a little bit of trading in the top side, but definitely Corn Dog is getting the better of Arthur right now.
mm-hmm. Yeah, interestingly though, I don't think either of these junglers got leash either. as something we've been seeing a lot more of, I feel, in pro play and pre-made um, games like here in Blue Otter's Master. You don't really see the leashes anymore because laners are just much more wanting to prioritize hitting the level 2 spike or getting control over the lane just so they can get those good early backs.
And after they made it so jungle camps are just easier in general, is you don't get punished by not having a no leash. So you're still gonna stay healthy. And look what we have in the bot side is we got NA Stallion actually fading on the blue side of
Ooh.
Starry's jungle, and we might have a little bit of a scuffle here as looks like they do see each other. But we got a roam from Brash. We got the Blitzcrank helping, but we also got to fight the top side as Arthur and Corndog are going at it. And Arthur is actually getting close to killing Corndog.
Yeah, both these top laners keeping him pretty close. Although Arthur, with the push here, can't just let this wave crash here and back. Perfectly fine as Gragas. With 19 CS, this should be more than enough to pick up a Tear of the Goddess if you want it, or if you're going for that Sunfire build route like you mentioned here, Bully. Start working towards that. But the Mana Crystal,
Oh,
looking like it's going to get a lot of ages, I assume, since
Yeah.
Mana Crystal doesn't build into the Tear of the Goddess.
So they'll go for the Rod of Ages, and something to know is that Arthur can just walk back to the lane while Corndog is forced to TP back. So there's going to be a slight TP advantage in this top side if they want to try to punish this Cassante in some shape or form. The Ghost was also burned in that fight top side, so no sums on Corndog.
Yeah. Thankfully, you can see Corndog's Ghost already passed a quarter of the way off that cooldown. That is one of the advantages of the Ghost Summoner spell.
It's on such a short cooldown. They need to nerf it. But
yeah, that's part of the reason why you're seeing so many ADCs take it. I mean, you don't see it on the ADCs this game because it's Ashe Varus. Those are two ADCs where you're like, yeah, I kind of have to take the cleanse into that. But
it's just way too much value not to take.
Yeah. Granted, I can kind of understand the short cooldown because it's kind of most usually compared to Flash here. Because if you nerf the cooldown on it, then it's like, then you just go Flash.
Yeah, and then, so right now, 500 gold lead actually for lane 0, just straight off of CSing. Most of it is on Bondi, as it's a 11 CS lead. A lot of that was because of that, invade by Stallion. They were able to push up, get priority lane, and then putting Starry behind just slightly is, delaying any type of first gank or early gank opportunity from this Lee Sin.
It's one of the great things you can do against Lee Sin as top players. Going at it here.
Yeah.
Arthur
keeps wanting that, and he's going to get the grasp stack. Arthur's getting slightly low in mana. It's one of the problems of playing Gragas is you do get a little bit mana hungry for extended trades, but Dragon is starting up, and that's definitely going to go over to death cards, as there's going to be no contest from lane 0. So they're just happy to give that up and trade that for the grubs.
Yeah, this is the definitive season 2024, like 5 to 6 minute play where junglers are on opposite sides of the map. They trade one objective for the other. And then we say Dragon is the scaling option. Grubs are the right now option because you can use it to help you get yourself some more plates here if you push up in lanes. And then, of course, later in the game, it just helps you take turrets a little quicker. Whereas the just perma-stat buffs coming from this Hextech Dragon. And
I expect in the next set of grubs, we're going to see, both supports roam up for it. As, you really don't want to give a team grub again for free. But, Death Cards has started the Dragon stacking. So depending on how they want to play it, they could continue prioritizing the Dragon. And if they need to, maybe give up the grubs to get that second one.
Yeah. Although, I know that getting 2 dragons versus 6 grubs is typically very favored for the team that gets dragons because grubs a little on the weekend right now, and just having 2 stacks towards that soul is very powerful because then you might only be 10 minutes away from having a dragon soul, whereas grubs, you have the voidlings, which is definitely nice, but we'll look to the hook.
Which is the hook lands onto Thresh. Thresh will have to flash, and they're still gonna. Body is actually going pretty aggressive here, and it's gonna get hooked. Cleanse is gonna be used. Ultimate comes out from the Vex, be instantly knocked up. Brash is almost dead. Will they get the first blood? Vex does get the first blood. Stallion is looking for the return kill. Will get one, gets the reset. Stallion is gonna go crazy. Stallion gets another one. He's double kill, and will they get the third? Shredman will die as well. That's a triple kill for Stallion, and it almost looked bad, but Stallion brought it back, was able to get the resets, and
Ooh.
now you're looking at a 3-0 Viego.
Yeah, you do give up first blood, but you will take that for 3 kills on your Viega here. NA Stallion going to be very massive. Already has the recurve bow working towards
Oh, Arthur. There's a, these
minions
fights in
Arthur?
topside, they're getting very, very hairy as,
Minions?
wait, wait,
Minions? Okay. Got one
they're
last
fine,
happy
they're
hour
fine.
proc there.
Sorry, just taking the red buff. It did look pretty bad. Unfortunately for death cards, they're now in a 1.5k gold deficit, and they're gonna have to work their way out of this one. They have to find a way to shut down this Viego because, a big part of this comp is that you can easily set up this Viego by using, the crystal arrow or a hook from Blitzcrank or even a Gragas barrel.
Yeah, and already having a Kraken Slayer too. That's pretty spooky when you have grubs coming up in probably about a minute and a half's time here. We don't have the timer for grubs on the overlay because Riot Games just didn't put that in the esports overlay, I believe. Because you see the Baron timer up there in the top.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's like now Baron's coming up in 11 minutes. It's okay, but Hook or Zeranos is gonna get caught out here. They did not have flash. They went a little bit too aggressive, and Brash decides to punish that. Doesn't even need to actually just decides to run up. That's all you really need to do, and that's gonna be a kill onto Ash. So a little bit too aggressive there, not knowing where the Blitzcrank is, and just trying to greed for minions when there's a very big possibility that you just might die for it. Now, not only do you lose the minions, you also lost your life and gave Ash for free gold.
Oh. Flash run out.
Yeah, but look who's here. It's Viego, and oh my god, Stallion does so much damage, and we'll just take the 4th kill. And, good flash from Griffin. They did burn their flash, but in return, Stallion did get a kill, and Grubs are coming up in about 5 seconds, so that should be just 6 Grubs going over to lane 0.
Yeah, unless Starry is able to get a little sneaky steal on in, but right now, your top side's clear. You're taking wolves and should be just pathing towards Gromp and Scuttle here. Like, that top side of the map is not theirs right now. It
Yeah,
is 6
his prob
grubs.
we have Dragon coming up in 50 seconds. You're going to see Stallion going to be able to take this and probably reset and fight for this Dragon. This Dragon will probably be in the hands of lane 0, so that Dragon stacking probably won't happen. But there's the Voidling's done. That's a reset coming from Stallion. Arthur is actually pretty low on mana, so if they want to join the fight, they will have to go back and join it on foot. They do not have TP though.
Okay, I saw Shredman kind of walking towards bot here. Does not have the ulti here though as Vex.
They definitely wanted to try to do something because they want this dragon. So if they want to do that, they need to get some kind of pick going. And unfortunately for them, Bresh and Bondi were playing under tower. They're pretty super safe, knowing that there's a chance that Viego reset pretty quickly, and you can't really do anything.
Nope.
Crystal Arrow does whiff.
I'm gonna miss. Yep.
That's an interesting use of the Crystal Arrow. I think they could have held that off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if it lands there, that's an easy hook. And Dragon has spawned here, so he would have been able to convert that.
Yeah, you either get that or you get the cleanse out from Zeranos if it lands on Zeranos. But
yeah, so it's not the worst here. You can see it's already a third of the way off cooldown because this is League of Legends 2024. Most ultimates don't really have the longest of cooldown.
Yeah, so TP advantage for Corndog in the top side. If Death Card choose to fight this, they could have a 5v4, but unless Arthur sticks onto Corndog, and Corndog has to go all the way back to try to get the TP off, he's going to lose a lot of plays for it, but they could get an advantageous fight if they choose to do so.
Yeah, I mean, lane 0, they definitely can just like to force this here, yeah, because there are 3 complete items in this game, and all 3 of the complete items are on their side, although the Resonating Strike lands. Ooh, falling in.
Shredman actually goes in, but Shredman's just going to get blown up. Stallion picks up the 5th kill. Now he's got the reset. Stallion is going to go for the kill onto the Thresh. Look at the ultimate alpha. Zeranos is hitting back. Going to try to kill Thresh. Double kill for Stallion. And will this be a shutdown? Shutdown actually goes down to Thresh. But in return, you see Bonnie get the return kill. Starry gets the kill onto the Blitzcrank, but Griffin cleans that up. That's going to be a kill in the way, a kill onto Ash, and more kills onto Viego. That is just terrible for Death Guards.
Yeah, it's a 4-for-2 there, and they lose the dragon. They do get the shutdown, which helps even
That's,
out the gold a lot. But like you
I
mentioned, it
mean,
goes
it went
on
on the Thresh,
Thresh,
though. That's the unfortunate part.
yeah, yeah, that's one thing I hate. Kind of wish they still had the objective or the kill bounties be shared globally. Because back when that was a thing, you didn't
Oh,
feel as
yeah,
bad.
I forgot about that.
What?
But Hook goes a little bit wide. Brash trying to hook here. I think it's this hero. I think that's the name, yeah. Hero 4. But slightly wide. I think that would probably would actually been a kill. Because Hero doesn't have flash, and Stallion was right there, just waiting to pounce. Griffin just happily farming in the mid lane, and we see Shredman actually looking for plays this entire game, but every time they go in, they just get exploded.
Yeah. Yeah, and it didn't help there because Shredman kind of going in without their team or a little too early for their team
Mhm.
and just being an easy pickoff there. Like, Viego as a champion, if you make goofs like that and just overextend and give yourself over as a free kill, uh, Viego just hard punishes that because, the reset champion that snowballs and fights so hard. And I don't want
Yeah.
to have to deal with that.
Arthur is now feeling the power of the Cassante as the trades are going heavily favored from Cassante, but Arthur really doesn't have to do anything. You see the rest of the map just being heavily favored towards you. You got a very strong Viego, you got a very strong Ash, and also your Hwei is getting going. So you don't need to really force anything, you just gotta clear the wave, make sure that your turret stays safe, and basically call MIA when Corn Dog goes missing.
Yep. Oh, okay, a little bit of lag there for me at least. But like you said, your lane 0 kind of in control of the map right now. They got themselves a decent gold lead. A lot of it is, of course, focused on Stallion here. So if the death cards are able to kill this Viego, that is a lot of the enemy advantage just off the map there. Hard part is they're going to have to be able to take down this Viego, and right now, a lot of their laners have a couple deaths all out.
You have it all out for the Corn Dog. Arthur will have to try to E away, but Corn Dog is still following very closely. Arthur will use the barrel to actually get safe, and Ghost also burned from Corn Dog, so in all, favorable trade for Arthur, as Corn Dog feeling the pressure of trying to get something going this top side because the rest of the map is just crumbling, falling apart.
Yeah. Thing is, it's just hard into the Gragas here. Has the Lucidity boots, has the body slam, has the casket. You can see the casket, oh,
Uh-oh.
should be an easy
Starry looking
pickup.
for an insect, but Starry taking a lot of damage from the turret, and one more turret shot would have executed Starry, but luckily for them, Hero was able to play the hero card and use the lantern to get them out.
Okay. Nice Herald. Wait. I think
Wait,
it hits
let's go back
turret.
mid.
Oh, wait. Griffin just got in it. Wait, Caddy,
Yep,
look
there it
mid,
is.
look mid. Oh, we didn't
Well,
look mid.
they got a lot of damage on the mid lane turret, and with how much pressure they have on the blue side of the map, they're just gonna be able to keep pushing this mid lane tower fight, breaking out as the Flea is doing a lot of damage. Actually, Sprash just goes down. Stallion looking for the reset. Stallion is gonna get a double kill on the Hwei, actually, and then Stallion just gonna clean this one up. So how much pressure that they have, they were just able to walk into this blue side. The original fight actually looking pretty decent, but unfortunately they're just way too far behind to get those 2 kills and walk out. That's a triple kill going on to Griffin. That's a tier 2 mid lane tower going over to lane 0, and with this dragon coming up in a 6k gold lead, you would think this is almost all but over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like at least, they're behind, but it was like within reaching distance. Now it's like, it's looking a little donezo for the death cards in this game, number one, unless they're able to get like a really pop-off play here. They do have the tools here to pick someone out. All 5 of these champions can just pick someone who has been mispositioned and then just get the team to pop them. The problem is they are lacking a lot of juice in the tank right now in terms of damage, and then also they're behind versus a Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
And being this far behind against a Blitzcrank is just really suffocating because you have to push up to get vision. But when you push up to get vision, that means, it's kind of dark in your own jungle,
And Corndog
and then you just
engages a
get
little bit
hooked.
onto Arthur. All that will be coming out. Starry looking for another play to Arthur, but again isn't able to get the kickoff to push
Okay,
Arthur from the way
lands.
turret. And yeah, the hook lands onto Griffin, and Griffin will probably go down to 800 gold shutdown, but a
Oh
huge
my.
Shui ulti will nuke Starry into that. Almost was actually a triple kill right there, honestly. That could have been Hero going down, and but look what
Ooh,
we
it
have
might be a
here as
triple here.
Stallion is looking for the fight. They have the stairs engaged. He will be safe if he goes for this. And quickly and quickly,
Ooh. Oh, and the hook's
yeah,
down
they're just,
too.
I think they're not of this world anymore. The crystal arrow lands.
Oh, wait.
Stallion actually gets caught, but now to execute, Brash just presses R, gets killed in Zeranos, but Brash will give up their life for it. So honestly, not the worst. And Griffin almost goes down, or not Griffin, Stallion almost went down.
Yeah, 2 for 2 there. You did lose mid lane inhibitor, maybe, as we have a pause here. Oh, no.
Wait, do replay files break now too?
No, 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 no. Okay. Our produce, it's not a replay issue. It's a producer
I was about to
peripherals
say, but
issue. Okay.
it did look like the turret at least went down and then the TP came out. It was the ultimate from the Ash. It looked like Bondi was able to take that inhibitor.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
the Crystal Arrow did connect, but instant cleanse from Zeranos on the top side. They weren't able to immediately follow up on that dive. Otherwise, I think they were a little bit too hesitant right there as well.
Yeah,
They allowed enough time for Shredman to TP in.
yeah, definitely dilly-dallying quite a bit there in the top side, but you kind of don't want to run under there without minions. And then Brash missing the hook there definitely stings, because had that hook landed, that would have been such an easy setup.
Yep.
Then also, like you mentioned, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow going into Zeranos. Yes, it is the squishy Varus and very easy to kill, but that is the one member on the enemy team with the cleanse, so they can just pop that summoner spell and you won't have them locked down for that Viego ultimate.
And this goal lead actually shrunk just a little bit as when they picked up
Yeah.
the shutdown on the Griffin, and Griffin is just gonna push out bot lane. They got a little bit of a turret on tier 1 turret to collect, so Griffin will push that down. Gold lead is now about 6.1k. Baron is gonna be available in about 50 seconds. We'll probably see lane 0 start setting up for vision around that red side jungle of death cards. And in the top side, they're just slapping each other at this point. It's basically a 4v4.
Yeah. I mean, up until that extended top lane play just about a minute and a half ago, both top laners were 0-0-0. Neither of them have died yet. Oh,
Zeranos
yeah.
will actually go down. The hook lands. Zeranos
Oh,
is
that's a
actually going to
turn.
survive for a lot longer, and that's going to allow Starry to pick up Stallion, actually. So a big member of lane 0 down for just your AD carry. And, it's funny. It's like, oh, you lost your AD carry. Is that a better trade? I mean, your Varus is on 5, and you take out the 7 and 2 Viego.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, one of these champions is worth a lot more than the other, in terms of raw gold. And also, Zeranos gets a bit of XP off that play.
Yeah,
All out comes
all out.
out.
And we have the cavalry is here, and Corn Dog needs to be careful, and Corn Dog will just go
Oh.
down. Griffin decides the final blow on the Corn Dog, and this last tier 1 turret is going to go down as well. So, Corn Dog was like, wait, what happened to us just hitting each other?
Yeah, think of all the grass.
We didn't agree on team play here.
Oh.
Body actually get hit by the fear, but Shredman not confident in trying to deal more damage there.
Oh,
Rash will get the
man.
hook onto Shredman. Shredman just gets silenced and just murdered by Griffin. Bondi keeps going forward to try to get the kill on the hero, but hero will be forced to flash
The
out.
fade away.
Wow. This is what I love about Hwei, and oh no, Starry. Starry is just not long for this world as Starry goes down. It's a triple kill for Brash Griffin. And now this inhibitor turret topside is going to threat, but the lane 0 is just going to back out. And it does look like that inhibitor mid didn't go down, so Ash didn't take that time. I think they opted not to because they didn't want to funnel more gold to maybe Zeranos just farming it for 5 minutes.
Yep, it's gonna be the Baron here.
Yeah,
Still got
there's no way that death cards can't contest this. It's totally pitch black. It's like this total eclipse is on their summoner's rift for their side. As the Baron just goes down, they had
Oh,
no idea. The hook lands on the
yeah.
Tyrannus again, and they'll just die for the sixth time. And it's just a feels bad moment. Brash has their number, and now the dragon is probably going to be taken. But honestly, with the Baron, they should just start looking for turrets. Who cares about this dragon? You're probably not going to get sold this game. You could just end the game with this Baron push. You could get all three inhibitors. You could take the Nexus and just go GG, go next to game two.
Yeah, and honestly, pretty solid showing here so far from lane zero. Like, they kind of just came out swinging in the gate, getting 3 kills here for Stallion's Viego. Yes, he gave up that first blood, but you'll trade 3 kills for first blood. Day, kind of just been running the rift here.
Yeah, now the jungle belongs to them. A hook lands on the Starry. Starry will probably just ward hop away, so they'll be fine. And then you'll
Ooh.
get the lantern to save the day as well. The crystal arrow was used, but that's relatively short cooldown, so it's not a big deal. They almost got the pick on the Starry, but just a little bit too late on that arrow.
Yeah, Bondi's arrows this game haven't had the best hit rate, and when they do hit, it feels like it keeps landing into Zorano's, who always has that cleanse.
Oh, the
Baron
hook
Siege.
just slightly wide of the Shredman. Tier 2 turret in the bot side going down. With the 6 grubs, you're just going to be able to nuke these towers. Starry is just looking for an angle, but it's not going to get one. And we got mid lane is going to get pushed out. Arthur joins the team. They will look for this inhibitor in the bot side as they already take the... They actually haven't taken the inhibitor. They're trying to get the minis pushed in. And looks like they're going to have a 2-pronged attack as... Oh, a hook lands on the Starry. Starry is just dead at this point. Stallion has a reset. Stallion will look for another reset. Corn Dog is going to use the all-out dies. Oh, nope, Corn Dog gets out, but Thresh, on the meanwhile, does die away as we're seeing Griffin with his 10th kill of the game. This way is just doing an absurd amount of damage, and right now, bot lane inhibitor's down. Mid lane inhibitor will be next, and probably the Nexus turret is going to be soon after, as lane 0 is just looking to cap off this game 1 with a very clean and decisive victory.
Yep. Very controlling victory as well as my chair is
Ultimate by
rolling
Shredman
away.
comes out, was able to do a little bit of damage. Griffin, unfortunately, Sarah's procced the lifeline passive saves, and it looks like they didn't take 0 damage. And Shredman once again goes down 6 death. Corn Dog goes down to Stallion. Stallion just gets the reset. Now we got 5 members hitting Nexus, but they want more. They're gonna go for the kills. They get a double kill on the Stallion. They were looking for the ace, but unfortunately the minis just ended the game. Lane 0 wanted to just finish off death cards for good, and that's a statement right there.
Yep. Pretty solid statement game coming through. It wasn't the biggest landslide. It did take a little bit of time here to get to his 24.5-minute victory, I say, but things were relatively even. It didn't come out the gate like completely blown out of the waters. It was just a general lead here for lane 0. And then come the mid game, especially around that second dragon play, or the third dragon, I believe, that's when we saw the gold lead start to really balloon. So Death Card's going to have to go back to the drawing board here for this game number 2.
Yeah, and that's a tough one, especially because you just fell behind so early. The 3 kills on the Viego was able to snowball the entire game. You really couldn't do anything. You never got your Lee Sin going. I don't actually think Starry had a successful gank because they're just so far behind in the jungle early on, and every attempt they made to try to get one of these lanes going is that it just got turned around, or the conditions weren't there to actually make the play.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like you said, with how that Viego for Stallion just kind of snowballed pretty early on. That really sucked, and combine that with the pick potential of Ashe plus Blitzcrank. Hard to come back from that. So we'll have to see what happens here in this game number 2, because this is now match point here for Death Cards to try and come back in.
Yeah, it's it's not just gonna be just a stomp, or you wouldn't think. Death Cards is sitting as a 3-1 record with a 6-2 game score. Maelstrom is undefeated. They only lost 1 game so far. And you can see why. They are mostly clean, and they look to be the favorites to actually win. One of the favorites to win Masters this season. But Death Cards, I don't think they're out of the, I don't think they're out of the match just yet. Let's see what they can give us in game two. I'm not sure if we actually have the file
I don't
yet,
know.
but,
It's one of the great things about
but yeah, we could go into break, and we'll be back with game two shortly.
Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace the fear inside. Surrender your mind to mine again. Close your eyes, have faith in me, and leave the light behind. You're never alone. Whenever it's gone, let the shadows take hold.
All right, welcome back to game two between the Lane Zero Maelstrom versus Death Cars. Game one was, I would say, is heavily one-sided. Go for it. What'd you think?
Yeah, it definitely was a little stumpy later on. We'll see if Lane Zero can get a similar snowball going, because it definitely helped that they got 3 kills fed to the Viego pretty quickly early on, to get that very quick Kraken Slayer, and then just kind of steamroll from there out. Of course, the teams have swapped sides here, so we might see a change in prio on both sides.
Yeah, it looks like we see the 5 ban again, and then not the Talia ban, and actually round 1, so they're getting rid of that. I think they just don't want to be going against it, so they have something in mind what they want to pick, and I wouldn't imagine if they're just looking for the Zeri on R1, R2.
Yeah, let's see, because
Banning the Poppy too. If it's not a Zeri, I don't know what to expect.
yeah, let's see, because Poppy, Azir, Seraphine, Jinx, Vi, and Rek'Sai were the bans last time around. Gragas is new. Talia is new, although she was banned in second phase. So we'll see what does get through here.
Yeah,
Is our
so let's see what they decide.
totally
And it's gonna be Jinx. So Jinx banned again. We saw Death Cards actually banned it on the red side last game. Then for the last ban for lane 0, they're gonna ban the Zir.
Seraphine is available. Lane Zero did ban that away last time. So they could lock it in. If they do so, please. I don't think you want to be one Seraphine here, though. I'm leaning towards the Zeri, maybe the Varus, the Ashe. I mean,
Death Cards actually going for the Ashe. Ooh, interesting. I
alrighty.
wonder if
I
they're
mean,
gonna flex that. I mean, lane 0, I feel like they were just gunning for that Zeri with the bans. But they're just gonna end up going with the Varus this time. And we just see just a swap of the picks. Ashe was played by lane 0 in game 1. Varus was played by Death Cards, and now they decided, let's trade champions.
yep. A little bit of a goofy situation here. The Melio being paired with the Varus. Melio would kind of give away that is the on-hit Varus. Nautilus, that is just always solid engage and lockdown, and just another form of just a bit of a front line here. Gives you a lot of lockdown in the bot lane as well between the Varus and the Nautilus. Curious what's going to be paired with the Ashe here, just to give you some protection, because that is going to be a royal pain to deal with here. The Owlstar would be one way to deal that, because you have the Unbreakable Will. You just pop that and absorb some CC. Braum, of course, with the shield, really great at doing that as well. It's going to be a Freljord comp. This was
Braum with the
TF3
Ashe
Season 1.
is pretty lethal. If they get onto somebody, that person is gonna get slowed, stunned, and if they're not able to return fire, or if they're not able to flash out, then they're just dead. Ari, Anivia.
This isn't TFT. Come on. Well, okay. Freljord isn't a thing in TFT right now. That was... I forget which
Okay,
side.
I was about to say, I was like, why not just pick the Ari here at this point? Like,
Yeah.
why would you go with the Anivia? But yeah, they decided to go with the Ari. I wonder if
Mhm.
Lane Zero will try to go for the Annie. Annie's pretty common counter to Ari nowadays because you just have point and click CC.
That's also an option. You'll be able to out wave clear here and kind of match the roams. The Ergot probably going top lane. Definitely a little spicy picking that blind here. Typically, we see that from players who kind of specialize in playing the Ergot.
Yeah, I think they're fine with it because I think they want to see the rest of the comp to see what bot lane is, to decide what they're gonna pick for mid lane. not bot lane, sorry, and jungle, is to see what they're picking for mid lane. So they're gonna end up picking probably jungle R4 for lane 0 and giving that mid just the overall look on what they're playing against.
A Kindred ban as well, just trying to pinch away some of this jungle pool here. Whereas the Death Guard's just looking to optimize their solo lanes right now. Assuming that Urgot is top, of course, you don't have to worry about that R5 counter pick in the top lane. Might see an R5 counter pick jungle this game, funnily enough.
That'd be wild. Brand getting banned out right here. They do not want to play against Brand.
Yeah,
Unless Caddy's trolling. But
it
yeah,
could
they
be
do not want to
Caddy
play against
trolling.
Brand jungle. Hawaii, we saw lane 0 actually going crazy with it. So Griffin is not going to be able to get that champion in their arsenal again. And with the last ban, it's going to be the Viego. The Viego kind of, stomped early game.
Yeah.
Kind of, I wouldn't say fell off, but they kind of like inted a little bit. They died a couple more times than they should have, in my opinion. But Hawaii was able to clean up. They're so far behind on Death Card's team that it just didn't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
R4 pick is going to be the Nocturne, maybe.
I heard this is going up in Prio. I'm not the highest
Rek'Sai.
on it. I don't think it's Giga Troll. The Rek'Sai would actually be interesting. The fact that it's gone this far into draft.
Yeah.
Thing is, we already have an Urgot, so it's probably Rek'Sai jungle unless you want to do Urgot mid.
Rek'Sai jungle, yeah, I don't think it's going to be Urgot.
It's like technically
wild.
a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I imagine it'd be Rek'Sai jungle. Lee Sin
Actually,
getting picked up by Death
The
Cards.
Rek'Sai does well into Lee Sin.
It should. I mean,
You're able to,
theoretically.
yeah, because you're able to track the sneaky paths of Lee Sin. Whenever the resonating strike lands, you can just easily interrupt that before it connects. You're able to outduel the Lee Sin since you have much more just sustained damage in your kit.
Sorry,
So it
winning
does
a
well.
rematch, but that's gonna be
Mm.
looks like a rumble secured in the top lane.
It looks
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
There you go. Rumble secured in the top side. So a lot of damage, a lot of ways to pick off the members of lane 0, but I saw in game 1 they couldn't get anything going in the early game. So I wonder to see what Death Cards do different to kind of get your lanes going, trying to get more control of the map. And R5 is going to be the victor. They decided to go with just the massive AoE damage for your last pick and to finalize your comp right there.
Yeah, give you some extra scaling here for your backline. I mean, the Varus does scale decently well if you go on hit. I don't think the scaling differential is going to be a huge factor this game, but if it does kick in, the Victor should be the one scaling the best here, as we are loading into the Rift. So, well, we've already loaded into the Rift. I'm pretty sure stream can hear the sounds.
The
Yeah,
beauty
there
of
we go.
playing with whatever it's called, replays.
Yeah. One of the funny things about replays is we don't even have to stall for time for spectator delay.
True. We can just get into the game, and that's what we'll do. And we got some cheesy stuff going as the entire Death Card squad is looking for a red side invade. Griffin will see this invade coming out, and I want to see if Bondi decides to move up a little bit and try to get some vision in the red side jungle of Death Cards, but
Oof.
looks like they're staying put for now. No wards actually, or one ward was dropped and it was by
I like that.
Lexus. Oh yeah, this is another thing is that just a note that Starry is actually in the game for this one. They actually have their starting jungler back. It's gonna be 2004 Lexus GX470.
Yeah, that's a fun one to say over and over.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say Lexus.
That's what most people say, yeah. Because they're also playing in Risen. They were on
This
stream
was a-
last week as well.
Interesting play right here is, Bondi knows who's in that bush, and they went for the red side invade, and then just immediately go swap back down and go for a blue side invade. And looks like they're gonna start the blue side jungle of lane 0.
Yeah, I think we're going to see vertical jungling come out here, unless 2004 Lexus GX470 wants to go the Mr. Worldwide route, where you just do buff and then run to your side to deny the enemy from stealing your buff, which looks like might be what they're doing.
like
They
they're
take the
doing
buff
that.
here. They might be Okay, they're pathing towards Raptors, so I think it's going to be buff Raptors into their top side, potentially.
Yeah. Imagine if they went buff, buff, and then buff again. But
I mean,
that would
I've
be
seen
so
that
in
before.
the visions. That'd be funny. But
It is like
oh,
so
gotta
funny, and you just do it purely
Bondi
to
getting
tilt the enemy
tagged.
jungler.
Bondi taking a lot of damage, and Brash also getting stunned up. Just the big trade coming out from the bot lane of Death Cards, who didn't have particularly the best game one, but they're definitely trying to get some kind of advantage with the immense amount of CC they have with these two champions.
And Bondi did start the longsword here, interestingly enough. You don't really see that anymore this season, except for on specific champions, but not really the Varus. Because Doran's Blade is just so much better now. Since they buffed it a
Yeah.
little, now it has the lifesteal instead of Omnivamp. And just having that extra health for these all-ins, I'm guessing they're just looking... Because you are against an Ashe, not the most all-in champion. They're just like, alright, you know what? Let's just play the same game. This longsword will help build into probably a Dirk here, or go towards my man immune.
Bondi was actually able to pick up a lot of that CS, so the CS is still pretty even. They do actually have 2 pots to their name, while Serrano's actually blew past their pots, so a slight advantage, honestly, for Bondi and Brash.
Let's see if they can keep it up here. Especially, oh, good little hook.
Brash
Alrighty.
getting stunned up there. Not a lot of damage to follow, but we got any Stallion in the bot side. It looks like Serranos will have to flash, but they will flash and get immediately flashed on the Stallion. Knocks Serranos up. Serranos will go down first blood. Braum will follow soon after. That's a double kill going on for the Bondi. And
Ooh.
just like that, Stallion is getting this bot lane going.
Yeah. I did not see the full pathing of Stallion there. Sitting on 15 CS, so about 3.5 camps, like technically before, since it's 4 CS per camp. Either way, though, pretty cheeky pathing there. That's one of the powers of Rek'Sai jungle.
I like the look. A lot of times you like see it's like, oh, let me just go to my Gromp and bot lane's fine, blah blah. But instead, he saw this vision. He saw it was like, okay, this is actually a gankable play. And now you have a very strong Varus.
Oh.
Varus will actually get stopped here, but not a big deal as there's a massive mini wave crashing. Stallion's gonna get jumped on his own Raptor camp. Lexus will take some of those Raptors away, but Stallion will get away with their life. I mean, they don't have flash anyway, but Rek'Sai with the tunnels, super hard to stick onto.
Scrubs are up in 12 seconds, and I'm thinking that's what Death Cards are setting up for here. I mean, they got a bit of time here, so they can just waddle around, see if there's any stragglers, and then go and start it.
Yeah, they're looking for the dive onto Arthur, I believe, but
Arthur is pretty ill.
yeah, they decide against it and go for the grubs instead. That could have been a pretty bad dive if they went a bit too early, as Stallion was in the top side on their Krug, so a 3v1 could easily have been a 3v2 under turret, and it's very easy to turn it, especially with how early leveled they are. Very low level, so not like they have a ton of health. Cordog is going to blow the equalizer just to push in the way, forcing Arthur to TP. I like the use of the equalizer right there, just making sure you get a free back. You have Ignite as the Rumble, so you know anytime you take a recall, you want to get the wave shoved in so you don't get punished by giving free plates.
Yep, and usually you see the grubs for Dragon Trade, but because the fact Stallion was
take both?
Yeah. This is what I like to go for. I mean, I usually don't bother with ganks when I play jungle. I just turbo farm jungle, int for grubs, and then yell at my team we do dragon.
Yeah, I think Lane Zero is kind of just happy just to, farm it out, as they do have a very good lead in the bot side. Yes, they lost the grubs. Yes, they give it the dragon, but they don't want to do anything just too aggressive to coin flip the game, as they can play this slow and slowly start to get the plates bot lane, slowly start to kill these towers in the mid lane, and slowly grow the lead. They don't need to try to do anything to the point where, oh, we accidentally just gave Serranos like 4 kills type of thing.
Yeah, I was just holding my breath a little. I was waiting for a dredge line to come out from Brash there.
Lexus
Serranos.
is on the bot side. They might be looking for a lane gank here as they're hovering on the turret, waiting for this wave to get a little bit pushed out so they can sneak into one of the pushes in the bot lane. But it's a little bit too slow as they're just going to opt to take the reset. They don't have any items. Now they do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
they were sitting on a lot of gold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Serranos and Hero are actually going to slow push this into the bot side tower. Probably looking to slow push this and then take a recall as Serranos only sitting on the upgraded Berserker Greaves and not a lot of damage
The corruption.
onto Hero. Hero will get out there pretty safely as they'll just jump to a minion. That's a Chains of Corruption down, but they were going to take the reset anyway, so nothing lost, nothing gained. Bondi won't have that ultimate for a little bit, but there's no neutrals to actually fight for.
We got Lexus here in the mid lane. Ooh, the
Ultimate coming out. The
classic.
Crystal Arrow connects with Griffin. Griffin just stunned up forever. Lex is going to pick that up. Great look from Zeranos as Bondi or Griffin does go down the mid lane. Not just that, they'll probably get this mid lane shoved in, and you're going to give Shredman a good reset here.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Ashe when you reset. You have ultimate,
Shoot
you
an
can
arrow.
just throw it down mid lane. That's like something I used to do back in the day in like seasons 6 through 8, where I just back on Ashe. I'm like, yo, mid lane, if I ult them mid, can you kill them? If they say yes, I just back, throw out ulti. If it lands, they get a kill. Hopefully. Sometimes, you know, they're a little over their heads and they don't get the kill.
Something to note is that Theranos actually opted to go for the ghost. Bondi is getting tagged, getting slowed down, taking a lot of damage. Lexus got into the bottom bush, but Corndog is getting jumped on the top side. Equalizer doing a ton of damage, but they're just going to get executed. Arthur almost burned down. That would have been a kill traded back, but Corndog blows both sums and does not get the return kill. Arthur on the board with just a sliver of health. Lexus is waiting in this bot bush. Wasn't seen. Bondi is stepping up. Brash is stepping up. Brash will get hit by the Sonic Wave, but I think you had the angle on Bondi there if you really wanted it. But unfortunately, Brash was able to just, dredge line out without using a single sum.
Yeah, and Zeranos, the Enchanted Crystal, are just now coming up, so unfortunate timing, because if that ultimate was up, they probably secure the kill there. But of course, they got a kill thin mid lane, so
yeah, they definitely secure the kill, and I think they actually can push Bondi off that massive wave that was stacking up, because Bondi doesn't have any more, doesn't have mana, and I think their Chains of Corruption just came up as well, so they're going to be a sitting duck, so they would either have to sack the wave and just run all the way back to tier 2, or they would just die for it. Grubs,
yeah, that would have been an oof.
taken by Lexus, and Lexus will be able to get... Oh, actually, they decided to take 2, and
Stallion
looking to get positioning onto the Dragon. Stallion is a little bit in
flat.
Narnia as they're just going to get tagged up, stunned up, slowed up, and Stallion just goes down. Shredman is going to say thank you very much. Spirit rushes in, gets the kill, and Zeranos is like, wait a minute, that was mine.
Wait, I've seen this one before.
Oh, big arrow, get in the mid lane. Griffin gets hit another time with the crystal arrow. And that's going to go over to Lexus. This looks like a totally different game from Death Cards. Even though the goal lead is still in the hands of Lane 0, Death Cards is putting up a big fight.
Yeah, really rallying back here. I'm just like curious because it's not like any of these lanes have a breakout CS lead. Of course, the gold lead is kind of just fluctuating between like a few hundred here and there. So, yeah, it's not like there's a range.
Brash is looking for the dredge line mid. Shredman has to flash, but they did Spirit Rush in the bot side to try to secure that kill, so no flash available for Shredman, so they will go down. And was that too greedy of using Spirit Rush to try to get the kill when you probably get that kill anyway onto your ADC? And now they just die for it.
Yep. Something we can do here. While that was happening, we did see the 6th scrub finished off by 2004 there. They did pause. They had 5, but then went mid to follow up on that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Then went back, so it is going to be 6 scrubs and first dragon. But Lane 0 looking to grab themselves their first dragon here. Before Lexus, he's hovering in the area. lot of
Yeah,
cooldowns are
looks like Arthur's waiting the was
good
basically
hook.
seen, but big engaged by Brash. Brash actually taking a ton of damage. Will need to flash out and to not get stunned, but Alexis is actually out of this fight. That dragon did go down, and we're just trading a little bit flash for flashes there as a small fight in the bot side dragon pit. No one dies, but the dragon is secured by lane 0.
Yep, and Lanesy are going to be happy for that, getting their first objective of the game here, you know. Don't want to give up 6 grubs and both the first 2 dragons. That'd be definitely a sucky situation to be in. Even out the
Yeah,
dragon count here.
and right now you see Corn Dog very close to actually finish out that Leandries, and with how close that fight in the top side was, once Corn Dog finishes that Leandries, he's gonna do an absurd amount of damage. Bondi actually stepping up a little bit
Stallion.
too much, and Bondi had to be careful there. If he got stunned up right there, I think Bondi just goes down.
4v4 hook
Dredgeline
lands.
connects with
No
Zeranos.
follow-up.
Zeranos will just be able to walk out as there's no follow-up to be had from lane 0.
Yeah, we had the makings of a fight there, you know, 4 versus 4, but not quite shaping out. Things gonna reset for now. Could still maybe see a scuffle here. I mean, still got a couple members, but with how low Bondi is, it might be kind of tricky. I don't know if the bot lane of the Death Cards know this is coming. They certainly don't know that 2004 is here.
Yeah,
TP. Oh, hello? You there, Bully?
yeah. Just to let you know, a little bit of issues in the Discord right now, but
Yeah.
just a slight gold lead. With that
Great TP
TP,
from Arthur.
yeah, they were able to get the kill. Lexus did go down. Lexus is actually having a pretty solid game. I feel like they're almost everywhere on this map.
Yeah. Yeah, doing well there. I mean, you had 2004 Lexus sitting there, and the enemy team, Lane 0, didn't know that Lee Sin was there. But you have the teleport X factor. That's one of the things with Rumble. You take that Ignite for lane dominance, which is kind of a funny thing to say because teleport into the Equalizer is pretty iconic from earlier seasons of League, but now you take the Ignite for lane dominance, but of course not able to follow up on that. Makes it an easy 4 versus 3 in the bot lane with all those cooldowns being down. Nice 2-for-1 being grabbed. Now 2-0 is the Surgot. Should give him a lot more leverage in lane, although right now if you look at the inventory, basically even. The only thing separating these two is the fact that the boots are completed and there is an extra Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, and Bondi is going to start hitting this tower on the bot side. Pretty big wave stacked up. Geronis is going to clear most of it. And we got Brash actually waiting in the outskirts, but Chin's Corruption will land, but really nothing going on right there. Dredgeline actually hits the turret. Brash will get stunned up underneath the turret. Brash might go down. Brash will go down. It's a 1-for-1. But we got a TP coming in from Shredman. Shredman is looking for Bondi in the backside. By the top side, we got a fight, a 2v2 scuffle, and then Bondi will go down to the bot side. And good TP shut down onto. It's going back and forth top side, but in top side, it looks like nothing actually went down. Just Equalizer put down, and just, you know what? We're done. We don't need to do anymore.
Fear Beyond Death. Dragon's Rage also down. The Rek'Sai ultimate. Queen's Wrath? I think that's the Q. I don't know. I know there's Burrow and Unburrow. I think he is Tunnel. Either way though, like you said, nothing coming out of in the top side, although Ritual and Cryo gonna be here. Or the death cards, they're having to fall back though. Still got some low members here. Might just be a Scoobity Whoop coming out of lane 0. No, they opt to not finish that there with these low health members. They're just looking to get some Cryo over Dragon. Not wanting to take their chances, trying to grab that Herald here.
Yeah, and it looks like this game, it's definitely a much closer game than game 1. One thing to note is that you're going to have a massive team fight potential from the death cards comp. One person gets stunned up, charmed up, or any kind of CC, I think they'll just go down. Equalizer does give you a team fight aspect, but this is very much like a pick comp for now, and then having the ability to, take like a 5v4 after using a lot of your CC on this one target.
Yep. Dragon has just spawned in. And now Prio is here for lane 0. His first turret. Don't know if they've started the dragon here. I think they have, since we see a Stallion in the pit. Arthur TP won't be back up for a little bit more if they do have to teleport into the fight. So it'll be 4 versus 4. Okay, now Stallion. This is all an award here, and there's no sweeper red ward available, so.
Yeah, right now we're sitting about a 1.8k gold lead, 1.7k now. Griffin is 0-2 and 0 on the board. Those 2 deaths definitely coming from Zeranos with the arrow that connected both times. Dreadman is with this Ari pick was able to get all around the map so far. Right now, Dragon is gonna be contested. It looks like, oh no, it looks like lane 0 is actually gonna sack this one. Actually, no. They look like they kind of want to, but then kind of not. But eventually they will sack this one. That's going to be a second dragon picked up by death cards. And right now they actually have the inside track onto this mid turret. And that crystal arrow did not connect this time. Griffin was like, oh, I've seen this before. And I don't want to tie again to it.
Yeah, learning their lesson to push up too far after that dragon falls. Losing Nash on the enemy team. Much slower game this time around. I mean, last time, saw objective bounty's already up. And 6 minutes from now is about when the game ends. It's roughly 24.5 minutes. So, both these teams, pretty solid shot of taking it on home. Yes, lane 0 has a slight gold lead right now, you know, about 1.5k, but you can see it fluctuates here. Then also death cards just having the extra dragon in their pocket. Could argue that's going to be more worth it in the long run here than 1,000 gold. If we do get to that late game and solos on the board.
And honestly, I feel like we will, unless some like crazy team fights happen in the next few minutes where it's just swings gold into one way. Corn Dog is gonna get picked off here. Equalizer is thrown down just to try to get some damage off, but Corn Dog eventually will go down to Stallion. The ultimate is used, but at what cost? You die for it. Baron, or not Baron, Rift Herald's getting pinged. That's probably gonna go on the way of lane 0 Maelstrom, as you know, this goal lead actually went up to 3k now, and they're gonna pick up this Herald, probably break open mid and start opening up the map. Lexus targeting Griffin in the side lane, but Lex is taking a ton of damage from Griffin. Lexus was like, oh my god, I don't know what I just got hit by, but it felt like I got nailed with the truck.
Yeah, that is one of the things with Lee Sin this season, since you go the Eclipse, because Rodriguer's out of the game. You don't have all that extra health, but with this Victor under turret Griffin.
Good flashback Griffin. Griffin will be able to flash out of that, and the Sarah will have let them survive. Shredman is going to go down to the last turret shot, and then Lexus will also go down. That's a double kill picked up by Griffin, and for a champion that got put down in the game and was not allowed to play for the early game, they are now have a lot of gold in their pockets. They are looking like a pretty strong victor. Topside, the Rift Herald was used, got some damage on the inhibitor turret, and this entire topside jungle is going to be Stallions for the taking.
And just like that, we're up to about a 5k gold lead here. And you're gonna feel that one there, that bot lane dive. A little sussy-wussy, a bit of a sussy baka. We're doing the Among Us memes here.
Yeah, and Zeranos, it feels bad because, you know, it looks like they made some plays. Oh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming out again, but it will miss this time. Feels like they are making some plays. They were one of the reasons why they got so many picks early game, but not a lot of the gold went onto them. And now we're sitting at about a 5.6k gold lead in favor of lane 0 Maelstrom. Some of that gold will be taken back as death cards take that middle tier 1 turret. But Griffin kind of walking into the fog and decides that I want this game to go a little bit longer into that. Arthur is getting chased down. We'll need to flash out, but Dreadman is now on the attack as the Spirit Rush is used forward to try to pick off more players. Arthur is going to get stunned up. Arthur is going to die, and with Baron on the table, 2 members down, it looks like death cards are going to start this one up.
Alrighty, it is technically a flip here. NA Stallion is alive, has the ulti, has the flash, has the smite.
Yeah, Lex is taking a ton of damage from the Baron.
Yeah. I was already a bit low from that play. You don't
Hero
take
is
Baron
also
the
taking a lot,
fastest. Yeah.
homing down. It looks like this Baron cannot start, unfortunately. It looks like
Keep
Hero's
him
just gonna go
Griffin.
down as Baron just decides to help him out. And right now, Stallion is getting another kill. Bondi takes out Zeranos, and now the Baron can be started by lane 0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And that
not
is
able
the
to do the
power.
Baron fast enough there, having a bit of low health.
Yeah, it
And
became a problem because they don't have someone to actually tank the Baron. With the Lee Sin that only had the Eclipse at the time, you really didn't have a lot of help to you, and then your Braum was also getting pretty chunked out with the Baron as well. So they kept on trying to do damage. They did damage to the Baron, but at the same time, Baron was doing a lot of damage to themselves. And the minute they got contested for that Baron, they had to peel off, or they're just gonna get wiped. And in the end, it just goes over to lane 0 as they just had the better conditions to take that fight and just take the Baron afterwards.
yeah, Griffin able to TP into the fight, definitely very helpful there. And able to go back, buy their items, and reset here just in time for Dragon to deny death cards they saw here. Death cards trying to do a bit of a cheeky breeky brush here. Worked out last time. I mean, they were able to get Griffin and Arthur and convert that into Baron attempt.
Yep.
Of course, that didn't work out, as we can see.
And now it looks like Stallion is just gonna, hover around his bot side, protecting his blue side of his jungle. And we have Arthur on the bot side, does not have TP, so they decided to put them bot side so they could join this dragon fight if needed. Treadman and Corn Dog do have a ton of damage to their name. It's just all about getting the right pick. And so far, a lot of these fights, they're getting the wrong pick. And Brash is going to be stepping up.
Oh, good
Lexus
kick.
gets kick on the Bondi. Bondi is just going to be able to flash for the wall. Lexus is dead. There's no follow-up to get that off that kick. Brash taking a lot of damage. Corn Dog will pick that up as well. And Hero actually gets tagged by the Urgot ultimate. And wow, honestly, I'm surprised no one blocked for that one because it was a very easy way to block that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to call out Zeranos for that Chanty Crystal Arrow there. That was a kicked Bondi, and they kind of just aimed arrow down towards their own bot outer. Unless they're like predicting the flash, which technically did happen, but Bondi
There's like a slight time that you have to they have to wait to flash after you get kicked because like you have to wait for this to actually go completely over like the animation. But Bondi, it was a decent look from Lexus, but the team was not set up. They did not have the look that Lexus had. If that was the case, Lexus would have made that play, and the entire team would have shifted down to get that kill onto Bondi immediately.
Yeah,
But it was
yeah.
also
Had they
one-way
got
ticket.
that, I don't think Death Cards would have like outright won the fight because that is a lethality of arrows. That's not the champion that's shredding through you. It's the champion that's generally chipping away at you. You'd want that pick onto Griffin preferably here because that victor will be shredding through your team. But still would have been a nice pickup there. Doesn't work out. You do still out a lot of this Baron buff though, because that Dragon Dance did take quite the hot minute, and
Yeah.
then the ensuing fight. So you technically weathered the Baron, I guess.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Is like what a big thing about like having Baron is what do you do? Do you just go for the dragon? And in that case, they want to. But a lot of times you're like, let's just give up this dragon and decide to push. And Lexus almost goes down right there, taking a lot of damage. You're
Ooh.
gonna lose their blue buff, and they have a wave on this top side, which they can look to siege a little bit. And we already saw that the inhibitor tower did take a lot of damage from the Herald earlier. So if they really want to, if they have time alone with that tower will go down very quickly.
Yeah, we'll
Brash
see.
taking a very aggressive pathing right there. Won't get punished. There's not a lot of follow-up to that. And right now, Zeranos doesn't really have a lot of damage either.
Yeah, Zeranos. I mean, you're at 2 items. That's
Oh,
two items
Shredman.
as
Spear rushes
attack.
forward, tries to get that pick. But the recall will go off, and Deathguard's going to use his time just to try to get a little bit of vision control on this bot side river. And it looks like they're setting up a death bush here as they're just looking for something that they can do because they're so far behind in this game. They're just looking for some kind of desperation play.
Yeah, for the upteenth time this game. I mean, it might work out.
Yep.
Thing is,
Just
though, I
wait.
think Brash is the first one who checks this.
Yeah, but the entire team of Lane Zero, they're playing towards the top side where they have the vision. And that's the big key is they're playing towards their vision, making sure they do not walk into a death brush. As we seen it before where, Griffin walked into the entire team of death guards a little bit ago. So they're like, you know what? Let's just play it safe.
Yeah, they tried picking out Arthur here, but not gonna find that. It's just gonna cede control of this entire top side over 2 lanes there. You see them taking the jungle, they take the scuttle, plopping down some deep vision as well. Oh no. Don't go for the cope rush, King. Here, please. Baron's up in 50 seconds. Please.
Corndog will be able to take this bot lane turret bounty claimed. And a big thing to notice is that Arthur actually has his 3 items on his Urgods, a full item up on Corndog. So Arthur is very strong, even though we really haven't seen these top laners participate in like team fights in game 1. This game we've seen them a little bit more, but Arthur's been picking up some of these kills, and now they are a major threat. On top of Griffin and top of Stallion and top of Bondi, a lot of this gold is to spread all the way throughout their team. So you can't really target one member that has like 10 kills and get your pick comp actually start succeeding. Is now you have to worry about everyone.
Yeah. Death Cards are trying to do the thing again where they wait in a brush and pick someone. Granted,
Yeah.
so is lane 0 a little here. So
Yep. Baron is on the table. Not a lot of vision down for death cards. They could just be easily walking into a trap, and Shredman just barely trying to check, see if they can get anyone to budge. Arthur's just trying to get some priority in the mid lane, just getting this pushed out. While look at the entire lane 0 Maelstrom squad. They don't have any vision on the Baron, so death cards just looking for a pick. They were just gonna be ready to sack that one if they wanted to.
things are getting feisty here.
Yeah, and I think Serranus is looking for a possible arrow.
Baron.
They see the Baron getting started with this blue ward, and immediately Lane Zero is going to peel off and look for the engage. Arthur is going to get tagged by the Sonic Wave. Corndog, he's on the side, gets... Oh, Corndog is dead in the ensuing fight. It's just a complete slaughter as the entire team of death cards is getting wiped piece by piece, and that's just going to be a complete 5-man ace. And Lane Zero is like, screw the Baron, let's just walk it down mid, gets the inhibitor, and then we could look for the Baron afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, Death Card's just a little too far behind there. And Corndog getting caught out here as this Rumble. Basically instantly destroyed. Had it not been for Herrick's just getting in the way there to stop the Fear Beyond Death coming out from Arthur,
Yeah,
I think Corndog wouldn't have even got the equalizer off.
that's the thing, is like the straight 5v5 fight has just been Lane Zero Maelstrom's favor, and that was just like an even footing. They're up 12k gold lead. You cannot even take a 4v or 5v4 against them because how strong these members are. You're gonna get slaughtered by the ultimate from Griffin. You're gonna get cut down by Bondi's poke Varus build, and then on top of that, Stallion, if he gets on top of either Shredman or Serranus or even Corndog, he just one-shots them.
Yeah. Yeah. And also thank you for not asking me the usual play-by-play question in situations like this of, well, this team's down 12k. How did they get back? Never mind, the fight's starting off.
Never mind, this game is over. But Shredman has gonna be forced to Spear Rush away. Shredman is gonna still die. Can't even get away with a crap ton of dash. Bondi's on a killing spree, and the ensuing fight after to hook onto Lexus, and Lexus is gonna die as well. Griffin and Bondi are both doing so much damage. They're so safe in these backlines. There's no way to get to them, and they're just going to be able to do as much damage as they want. As Serranus is running for the hills, they don't know what to do, as you're going to see Brash just sit there just mocking them as Serranus has to watch their mid lane tower being taken, and then probably the next
That's his game.
Yeah.
Tense members will maybe spawn here in time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, oh, it looks like Brash is No, I think
Okay.
this game actually, Brash is still alive,
It should.
and that's so frustrating. If you're an ADC and you can't kill a support, just getting 1v1, to the point where Brash is just keep dredge lining away from you, and even the slows don't matter. But a
Oh,
very clean 2-0 win.
let's go. My camera froze. You can see my forehead. Yeah. The 2 out here for lane 0. Yeah, I don't know what causes that. I had that happen last week too on Risen. Find I just have to unplug and replug my webcam. It's weird. But 2-0 here for Lane Zero Gaming. I mean, both these teams still guaranteed to make playoffs here. But Lane Zero just definitely cementing that they're gonna be getting that first seed going in. Oh, hey, we're
Yeah,
gone.
there we go. Yeah,
No.
just in general, it was just a very solid. Like game two is definitely closer. There's a lot of good picks made by death cards, but just the overall gameplay and the overall macro sense, I feel like death cards didn't utilize their comp to the full extent that they could have. It felt like they were kind of playing into Lane Zero's kind of gameplay and what they should have.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really fell apart around 19 to 20 minutes this game here for death cards because they had that failed dive bot where they just give up 2 kills to Griffin's Victor, and then in the top side you have that Rift Herald that I believe cashes in on one turret, the outer turret, and then crashes into that inhibitor turret. That's such a huge gold swing for Lane Zero, and they're just able to keep going. And death cards, they just weren't able to kill the front line.
Yeah, Death Guards had a pretty good hold onto the early game neutral objectives, but they just weren't able to get the goals in the right places. Their attempts of getting the kills, yes, they got kills onto, Griffin mid a couple times, but what did they get out of it? Really nothing. Is they just got the gold out of it. They didn't really get control of any objectives. They couldn't hit towers. They couldn't use that to, you know, get good resets off or get good vision. It just felt like they're just getting gold.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, 2-0 here. Coming on out. Lane Zero gotta be feeling good for themselves. Carry that into the final week of regular season, which is next week, I believe, unless you said there was a break next
Yeah.
week.
So
Heck
next week's
yeah.
the final week, and Lane Zero actually is gonna face off against Dorado Gaming Gamma, who's also undefeated. So
Mm,
that's gonna be a good test. Both teams definitely just secure playoffs, so they're gonna be a possible. It's gonna be a possible foreshadowing of the Masters finals, as both teams look extremely good.
yeah, and something we'll definitely have to catch next week. But I think that's it for us here tonight. There should be
Yeah,
more Blue Water broadcasts throughout the week here. I know there's some more Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for any gamers
yeah,
who want to tune in.
yeah. Unfortunately, I think we have to do replays for the rest of the week, but
Yeah.
it's really sad because it's more exciting to cast this live. For one
Mhm.
reason is we can start on time, and then two
Yeah.
is you kind of feel the pressure of the games live. But good win by Lane Zero. Congrats to them. They move on to 5-0 in the season. And Death Cards, I know they have the potential, turning it around in last week or in playoffs. But that will be it for today. Thank you, Caddy. Thank you, Gofarino. We'll see you tomorrow for Blue Otter Emerald.